Hey guys, it's Imran back again with your crypto vol update. All right, let me jump in to our trusty Amber Data dashboard. This is obviously a custom dashboard that I've got that I've been able to bring in whatever charts that I want to look at within the Amber Data platform. It's awesome. Okay. Anyway, looking through realized vol. So we obviously pumped up to sort of 60, low 60s in realize it has started to come back down finally as those big moves drop out of the data set. The kind of 7-day window. Implied vols obviously had their spike and then gave it all back. The implied vols are sitting there at relatively local lows. I'll show it on the time series in a minute, but basically, we've got a very, very small positive carry of a couple of vols right now. So realized vol has come down to be a little bit below implied, but obviously implied led the way first, and then realized has kind of stair-stepped down as those big, really big moves drop out of the sample. Similar story in ETH. We got as high as 140. Realize it has dropped down to 85, but it hasn't caught up with implied vol yet. Implied vol on ETH is down here at 67 in that 1 week front end. So we do still see negative carry, but remember that negative carry is just because we got those ridiculous moves early last week. And yeah, implied is telling us that ETH has kind of stabilized now. So the vol sellers are out there and they're earning their theta, basically. That's the idea. Now you can see that again on the term structure and the way it's moved. So you can see here, week on week, we've got quite a big collapse in term structures. You've got Bitcoin go from this sort of mild inversion to contango again. So the front end's at 45, moving up to around 58 in the back. And you see that about 8 to 9 vol crush in the front and about 1.5 vols in the back. So a pretty brutal vol sell off across the entire curve. Ethereum, similar story, right? Front end down about 7, 8, back end down about 1.5. But obviously, it was coming from a higher base. It was much more inverted. So we're looking at about a flat curve right now in the kind of mid to high 60s right now for ETH. So it's just a flat vol, whilst you've got a steep contango in Bitcoin. That's kind of the setup right now and what the term structures look like. Looking at the kind of time series, you can see here how the vol evolved. You can see front ends went nuts, obviously, on the big sell-off, collapsed. We went into that contango. We had a little brief pop again on the kind of news of Trump actioning the steel and aluminium tariffs at the weekend, but it's faded pretty damn fast, right? So we're still in contango, and it gave it all back. You can't really see what's going on here just because if I go here, there you go. Ethereum got obviously well above 100 vol, and I'm going to continue to do that so you can see more granular what's going on. Ethereum vol did pop again back up there. You can see very briefly at the weekend when we saw a bit of a drop, but then it's faded again to a flat curve. Skew wise, we did get into quite deep put premium, 4.5 vols for the weeklies on puts, whereas Ethereum got even deeper, about 5 vols there. So definitely people using super short dated puts to hedge their crypto position. Very, very typical price action that we do tend to see. No major surprise there, right? That just you can and actually that's a good segue on to looking at the skew and the shape of the skew. So you can see the term structure of the skew. So right now is the blue curve, where in Bitcoin we're near enough to zero, and then we move up to about a 3 vol pull premium in the back, but that's come down from about a 5 vol premium. So we have actually seen quite a decent drop in that long-term call skew this week. It is gradually working its way down, and then the front end there is no call premium. It's neutral pretty much right now. So it has actually recovered back to about neutral. Whereas if you look at ETH's still holding a couple of vol put premium in the front end, and similar story. I mean, it has come down in the back, but not by that much. We still do hold about a 5 vol premium, 5, 6 vols in the long end. So a much steeper curve in terms of skew on Ethereum, because it is basically, it's saying that, yeah, while ETH can have the wildest down moves, we still think it has potentially the more upside as we go longer dated, because once it does finally turn, it's got so much catching up to do because it just completely has, been left in the dust by Bitcoin, basically. So they're just keeping that skew curve extremely steep, where the puts go crazy bid in the front and then the calls stay relatively very well bid in the back. All right, and then relative value wise, you can see here, this is the term structure of the spread. So we've gone even higher to about 22 vol spread in the front. So that's saying that Ethereum front end gamma is at 22 vols above Bitcoin. So massive spread in the front. I mean, you can see where it was a month ago. It was more like 10, but it is holding up here at 20 right now. So people thinking a 20 volt premium is justified right now because ETH is moving so much more than Bitcoin. Generally, I do think it will come down over time, back below 15 easily, maybe back to 10. But it's going to take time, right? ETH right now is oversold. It did have that massive down wick to 2,200 until it gets back above 3,000 and then kind of finds a bit of equilibrium, then I think it is still going to remain choppy. So it wouldn't surprise me if ETH jumped 10% in short order to get back above 3,000, and that's going to keep realized really high on ETH, which is probably going to justify this gamma spread right now. Okay, but at some point, ETH's going to then find some equilibrium, stabilize, and you'll see this collapse back towards probably anywhere between 10 and 12 vol, I suspect. Okay, skew-wise, just showing us that, what we already said, puts are more bid in ETH in the front end, and then calls are more bid in ETH in the back end. That has been quite stable, a condition for a while, so nothing really to add there. Okay, cool. That is your quick vol summary on what I'm seeing in crypto vols this week.
Hi everyone, thanks for making it to the end of the video. Remember, this is just a little taster of what we do at Options Insight. To get access to all our research, including my in-depth vol market insights and a whole lot more, you can sign up at options-insight.com. I'll see you soon.